y'all, it's another day in the garden. Welcome to my channel, welcome to my garden, and welcome back if you've been here before. But if you're new, please say hello in the comments. Tell me what state or country you're coming in from so I can say hello back and welcome you to the channel for the very first time. I am Barbara. I live in Tennessee in Zone 7B, and today I'm hanging out in the garden. I'm gonna plant some stuff out, gonna harvest what we can, gonna do all the things. Today has been really hot in our area, like mid 90s. So needless to say, I came out here this morning to do some watering for some stuff that didn't get watered over the weekend. And then I went on back in the house, and I've been doing stuff inside the house today. A lot of stuff in the kitchen, catching up on stuff. But I have about 30-45 minutes before it gets dark, so I came out here to plant some stuff. So I wanted to take you along with me and show you what we're about to plant. Move out the way, Lexi. Okay, so this right here is our third and final succession of squash and zucchini that we're going to plant out. Look at these. We planted these, we started these seedlings 2.5 weeks ago. You and I did it together when we did our first round of fall seeds. I did these, and so I have patty pan squash. I think I have 9 of those, and then I have a zucchini, a new variety that I've never done before, but one of you guys recommended it, and it's called the Romanesco. I think it's a striped zucchini. So we're gonna plant those out. I have some space back here in one of the beds. So we're gonna start back here, and then we're gonna go actually to the tunnel and to the outside garden and see whatever other space we have that we can plant some stuff out as well. So what you saw me doing, so at the beginning of the video, I just did a quick little harvest of the stuff back here. I have some Roma tomatoes that are semi-blushing. Let's see. You can kind of see on this one right here. Semi-blushing. And then we have some green beans in there. And we have some jalapeno pepper. So just a quick little harvest haul that we did there. But I'm excited to get my squash and zucchini out. So this is the third time that we've planted squash and zucchini. I live in Zone 7B, so we have a pretty long growing season, about 110 days, if I'm not mistaken. No, it's longer than that, 100+ days. And so because squash and zucchini only have like a 45 to 60 day harvest to maturity window, I get a chance to plant it, 3 or 4 times during my summer season. So the first time I planted it, we had a really good showing of squash. We did not have a good showing of a zucchini. It was just okay, but we were still able to eat zucchini fresh, and I was able to at least freeze dry 2 gallon size bags of dried zucchini. So not too bad, but the squash was just phenomenal. It was like we had, I guess, probably from the squash to zucchini, probably the squash grew probably 3 to 1 to the zucchini. So we had a great harvest of squash. We also did more squash and zucchini back in June. That was our second planting. And right now we have a few of those left. I think only like 3 or 4 left in the outside garden that are just now starting to flower. But then the other day I saw some aphid eggs on the squash. So I'm like, oh my goodness. So we're gonna go out there today and see if we can get those eggs off. I'm gonna try a new method that I haven't tried before, so you'll be able to see that. But we had planted more out, but the rabbit got the squash and zucchini when it was very small and young. So I only have 3 or 4 of that planting left. So this is our last and final planting. If you're in my zone and you have not started squash and zucchini, you still have time. You can get that in there. I started these 2 weeks ago, but after this I'm not going to do any more, because I've had by this time I'll have had enough of the squash and zucchini, and I will have met whatever my quota was to have it for the rest of the year. So let's find some spaces and let's put a couple of these out in this raised bed right behind me. So I also had another planting of squash and zucchini right here in this bed. And not squash, yeah, I had squash and zucchini. The zucchini did well back here. I got tons of zucchini, and that's where the freeze-dried gallon-sized bags came, was from the zucchini back here. Then I had squash over there in that corner that didn't do anything. So we're gonna try this again. I'm gonna put the patty pan squash right here. I'll put one here. So I got one there. This Roma tomato, it has, I don't know, probably 10 or so tomatoes still on it that haven't blushed. So Once these blush, we'll pull those tomatoes, and then we'll be able to pull the plant, and that'll create some more space. Let's see. I have some more space right here. And then we're gonna put some on the other side. I'm gonna do the zucchini on this side, the squash on that side. So just reverse of what I did the last time. I hate these sticky things, sticky weeds. So I'm gonna put 2 on this side. It's tight back here because of all of these sweet potato vines that are all over the place. So I'm having to watch my step for sure. Trying to see, do I have any more space to put another one? And right now I don't think I do.
I ended up finding some more space on the other side where we started. I had a Roma tomato plant there that had 1 ripe tomato, and that was pretty much it. So we took that one out, and that created a little bit more space on this side. So I'm going to put another squash and another zucchini in this area here, and that'll give me, I think, a total of 3 of each in this bed. You know, with squash and zucchini, they vine, so you don't want to put them too close together. I try to aim about 18 to 24 inches apart so that they have space to kind of do their thing. But I'm excited if this works in terms of getting a fall or third succession planting of the squash and the zucchini.
Okay, now we're down in the outside garden. So we got the squash and zucchini planted. I think we did a total of 3 squash and 3 zucchini, something along those lines. And I put those in a raised bed. And as I was coming down here, I was thinking about where I was going to put it. Now, I've had my squash and zucchini basically out here in the outside garden. And I told you how the first and the second succession went. There is still a rabbit issue out here. And so I'm hesitant to put the squash and zucchini in the ground just because it is on the smaller side. It seems like once the plants get a little bit bigger, the rabbit doesn't bother it as much. At least he hasn't bothered these that I know of. So I feel more comfortable putting it in a raised bed just because I think that's less likely for the rabbit to get up in there. But before we decide where we're going to put it, let me show you the squash. I saw some squash bug eggs. I said aphid eggs. I meant squash bug eggs. And so I'm going to use the tape method. I've never used that before. I've seen it and I've heard about it, but I've never used it. Normally I'll use like an insecticidal soap or some neem oil. I tried that on the last time and that didn't do much of anything. So I figured, why not? Let's try this pack and tape method. And I think you can use any tape, but what I read is that the pack and tape is a little bit stronger to lift the eggs off. And so we're going to try it and see how it works. Now, just since I was out here 2 days ago, I have more squash bug eggs. This is what they look like, a little copper color. I have some right there. I have some there. And then I have some right there. It was just right there 2 days ago. So it's definitely spreading. So let's see if this method is going to work to lift these off. I'm just going to take a piece of tape. Oh, this is in here backwards, but that's okay. And I'm going to see if I can lift these off. Okay, it is working. It's hard for me to get a good camera shot. Okay, that definitely worked. I don't know if you can see that. So that worked. I'm going to fold this a little bit and use the other side to get this one. Yeah, that actually works pretty good. Okay. So I'm folding that. I'll dispose of that. Let me get another piece of tape. And I need to look on the underside too. Yep, I see some on this underside as well. I'm just pressing it and like lifting it, and the eggs are coming off. Now, will they come back? I don't know. And I don't know if you got to do this like every day. And again, this is like the second week of August. So I said in my video last week about the things I was going to do different is that I wasn't going to do squash at the beginning of the summer anymore, just because you fight so much with the vine borers and the squash bugs and all that. But these have been in the ground for at least, I would say, a month or so. And I thought I was good until I saw these. I'm looking on the undersides to see if I see any. And it might be good for me to come in here with the neem oil after this and spray it as well. But that seemed to work good. I folded this, so I don't know if you can see there. But that seemed to work, and that was relatively quick. I see a little bit more on the underside, so I'm going to get that. And then I'm going to go look at my other squash. I got 2 other squash plants over there. They didn't have anything at all a couple of days ago. So let me see if they have something now. But let me know if you've tried this method before. Again, relatively quick and easy. We'll see how it works. Again, I'm hoping, because we're putting them out later, especially the ones that we just did, that they're going to be okay with the squash bugs. But I've never planted this late, I don't think. So we're going to see what happens. Let me get another piece of tape. My packing tape is in here backwards. I hate it when that happens. But let me get this, and then we'll go over to the other ones. These are my other 2 plants here. There's nothing on the front side of these, or the top side. And I'm not seeing anything on the underside, so that's good. That is good. It is starting to flower. So we'll keep watching these and see what happens. While I'm out here, I'm going to go ahead and harvest what I can.
I grab my baskets and see if I can harvest anything. I walk by the corn. The corn is looking so good. It just makes me so happy. I'm really hoping that this second succession of corn yields just as good, or if not better, than the first one. You can see that I have some tasseling, and I have the silks. But on the row right beside it, I have peppers. And so I'm harvesting some cayenne peppers and jalapeno peppers. And then behind the corn is where my okra is. I have about 12 okra plants, and that's just enough for me to manage, because you have to pick it every day. When I first started gardening, I had at least 25 or 30 okra plants my first summer garden. I had no idea how much grew on it, and I could not keep up. And so last year I decided to just limit or reduce the number of okra plants I have, and that has worked out so great. I think last year I had 10, and then this year I have 12, and it's manageable enough, and I'm getting enough of what I need for my family's need.
Okay, so in the outside garden, I was able to get some purple whole peas, cucumbers, bell peppers. There's some green beans on the bottom, and some jalapeno peppers. So nice little basket haul. I just had a harvest haul 2 days ago. So again, I'm not complaining. The garden never ceases to amaze me, y'all. Even though we are not doing 3 and 4 big baskets like we did early in the summer, we are still growing groceries, y'all. We are still growing meals for our family. So it doesn't matter if the if the weather, if the sun, if the rain has kind of like decreased your harvest, if you're still getting harvest out of your garden, that is a blessing. So now let's go in the tunnel. Nightfall is about to catch me, but let's see if we can turn on the lights in the tunnel and see if we can get the squash and zucchini planted plus harvest in there. Okay guys, so I decided I'm gonna plant some in here. If you can see the second bed behind me, it's completely empty and it's already prepped and ready for fall. We laid a whole bunch of new compost in that bed. We just haven't amended it with the amendments, but it is ready for fall planting. So I don't want to use that bed because I want to let that be the first bed. When my fall seedlings are ready to go out, I already have a bed ready to go. And so I have this bed here. In this bed, we had a ton of celery and we had a lot of herbs. So what we have left in the bed, I have some parsley, some chives, some lavender, and some thyme. So the rest of this bed is pretty much empty. And so I thought, since we have a couple of what I would call aromatics or some herbs that have a scent, is to go ahead and put them in this bed right here and see how they do. And I think I'll mix it up. I think I'll put some here and then maybe some in another bed, and we'll see how many we're left with. But let's start off with at least, let's do a, patty. We're gonna do a patty pan squash. I'm gonna kind of just fill in the open space and do the best I can with spacing them out accordingly. Okay guys, the daylight caught me. It got too dark for me to show you, but I did get the squash and zucchini in, so I'll show you where I put it. They look good. It's been a couple of days since I put them in. Now the ones that I did in the back of my house, two of them look like they had maybe transplant shock because they're just kind of like withered away. So I'm gonna see if I can revive them, but if not, no big deal. I still have some extra plants left over. So we got those in there. But now what I want to do is I want to harvest something that I should have been harvesting. And I have harvested it, but I have not harvested in bulk. But we're about to do that now, which is my eucalyptus. Y'all, my eucalyptus tree, I have 2 eucalyptus trees in my greenhouse. I grew them by seed, and it is wild. So I was hoping my husband would be down here, but he's not. He's in the back of the house cutting grass and weed eating. So I'm gonna let him keep doing what he's doing, but I'm gonna try to get as much as I can that will be, my height approved. There's some that's real tall that I'm not gonna be able to get unless I'm on a ladder, and I don't have a ladder down here. But let me show you the squash, and then let's go over to the first eucalyptus tree and let's see what we can do when it comes to harvesting our eucalyptus. I'm excited because I cannot let this go to waste. I mean, people pay money for eucalyptus, and I have harvested it to put in flower arrangements, but I never harvested it in bulk to do something with it in bulk. So I am going to make some eucalyptus oil, but I also want to use it for some projects, maybe candles or soap or something like that. So give me all your ideas on how to use my eucalyptus. I already, put it in my shower, and it's like aromatherapy. Like, it's great all around. But give me some more ideas on how I can use the eucalyptus. But let me show you what's going on. There's one squash and zucchini plant there. I'm not sure which one that is. I didn't even put the labels down because it doesn't matter. Then I have one here. You can kind of see that one looks like it's withering away a little bit, and it's probably because the water may not come all the way down to this very end. The water may not come down to this very end of the bed, so I need to hand water that, or I may move it. Then I have another one here. It's looking good, so that's great. And then I didn't put one anywhere else. I think I'm going to put one right in here because I have like 3 or 4 left. But that's what's going on with that. Now I see we have some Roma tomatoes that can be harvested that are blushing, which is great. Like, I get like 2 or 3 a day that are blushing. Oh, there's another one back there. Okay, let me grab a basket. Y'all, look at my eucalyptus. I am literally standing up under it, and you can see how tall it is. Like, it is all the way up to the top. That's what I need my husband for, to get those branches up there. Now, when I first grew eucalyptus from seed, I grew it because I love the smell of eucalyptus and I wanted it for flower arrangements. I had no idea that it was going to be a tree or how big it got. This tree right here is at least 3 years old. Yeah, I think it's either 3 or 4. So new gardener, because I've only been gardening for 5 years, so I did not look it up, anything like that. So very, very surprised that it grew this big over time. Then there are some eucalyptuses that do not get this big. This right here is silver dollar, if I'm not mistaken. But I also have another eucalyptus plant in my garden that I'm growing for the first time this year. I grew it from seed as well, and it is small leaf gum. It right now it's in a pot. It's very, very small, but it's only supposed to get to 3 to 4 feet. So we'll see. But let's go ahead and harvest the eucalyptus and let's see what we can walk away with. Y'all, look at all of this eucalyptus. You can see my basket size. It is full. I could probably get 2 more baskets this size. I'm going to stop here. I got a lot of the lower branches. It doesn't even look like I made a dent in it, but this is enough for me to start. I'm going to take it in my house, bundle it up, and let it dry. And then I can use it for, I think the first thing I'm going to make is eucalyptus oil. But then I want to have some like for the holidays. I don't know what I want to do. I just know that I need to do something with this eucalyptus. So put all your comments and your thoughts down here. But y'all, when I say it smells so good, smells so good. And eucalyptus is medicinal as well. So it is a great herb for medicinal. It is great for respiratory. So sometimes when we're like stopped up or something in the wintertime, I will take eucalyptus oil, tea tree oil, and peppermint oil and put it in some hot boiling steaming water, put a towel over my head, and then I inhale the steamy liquid with those oils in it. It'll help to open up your nasal passages. But also people use it for I think for hair and for skin. It has a list of medicinal properties as well. And it's just good aromatherapy, great scent, and all of that. So I cannot wait. And y'all, this is free right in my backyard or right in my greenhouse. And I grew this from seed, y'all, from seed. And I have this one, and I also have another one on the other side in another raised bed as well. So I have plenty of eucalyptus. People always ask me, where do I get my eucalyptus seeds? I get them from either Botanical Interest or Urban Farmer. They sell out really, really quickly. So you might want to check now while it's an off season instead of waiting until the spring and summer when everybody's starting their seeds. So either Botanical Interest or Urban Farmer is a great place to go get some eucalyptus seeds. So I'm excited about my eucalyptus. We have time to do a few more things. Let's see. I am also going to harvest some holy basil. I have not harvested yet at all, but you guys have told me that it's a great tea to maybe have before bed. So let's harvest some holy basil as well. Okay, guys, I got the holy basil. That's this right here. And y'all, can somebody confirm for me this is what holy basil looks like? I'm pretty sure that's where I planted it, but my tag was gone and I haven't harvested at all this summer, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is because I've never grown it before. Let me know if that's what it looks like. And then I also got some lemon basil harvested. Y'all, this lemon basil and lemon thyme, both of the smells are intoxicating. They smell so, so good. Let me know if you grow lemon basil and what you use it for. I'm going to dry it and put it into like a seasoning blend. I don't know that it would be good in Italian seasoning because I don't know if you want that lemony flavor and everything that you would use Italian seasoning for, but I'm thinking it would be good in like a pasta dish. And so maybe I'll make up my own seasoning, like something called pasta magic. We need a better name than that. What can I pair this lemon basil with? I'm thinking lemon basil and rosemary. That would be good. Or it might be something I could sprinkle on focaccia. All the ideas, but it smells so, so good. Okay, y'all, I got like 10 more minutes of daylight because it was hot again today, high 90s, and I could only come out here an hour before it got dark. And so I started off in the back of the house, fertilizing and all of that stuff. And I came down here to harvest my eucalyptus and finish this video. But I want to say thank you guys so much for joining me today in the garden. I cannot wait to hear your comments about how your garden is doing. Hear your comments about what to do with all of this stuff that I harvested and give me some ideas, as well as the other people that's in the group. If you're not part of this community, if you've just been lurking and you haven't pressed the subscribe button, please press the subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it. And remember, y'all, this is all a journey, but let's do it together. I'll see you next time, friend.